The word deconstruction has picked up so much baggage that most people can't even hear it anymore without having a reaction. Someone says it and immediately the room goes tense, or the comments light up, or someone you care about looks at you with a worried face. And somewhere in the middle of all of it, we've stopped asking what it actually means. So today, I want to strip the baggage off that word for a minute, because I think when you hear what it actually means, you might realize it's a lot less scary than the reaction suggests. Deconstruction, at its core, is simply this: the moment you stop accepting what you were handed and start asking, is this actually true? And that's it. That's the whole thing. It's not atheism. It's not rebellion. It's not announcing you're done with God, you're done with your church, you're done with faith. A lot of the time, most of the time actually, it's not even doubt in God. It's doubt in the system, in the framework, in the cultural Christianity that got passed down alongside the gospel. And you never took the time or had the chance to separate the two. Because here's the thing, and most people never hear this. What you were handed when you came to faith was a mixture. It was scripture and tradition and church culture and personality and theology. And honestly, whoever was teaching at the time and what they had been through and had experienced and were talking about. All of that got compressed together and handed to you as faith. Deconstruction is just the moment you start to ask which parts of that are actually God and which parts are just the wrapper he came in. That's not rebellion. That's actually one of the most honest things a believer can do. Now, I want to be equally as honest about what deconstruction can become, because I don't want to oversell it. Deconstruction that stays reconstruction can drift. It can drift toward cynicism, toward the idea that nothing is true, toward taking the questioning and making it a permanent identity instead of just a season. And that's not what I'm describing. That's not what I'm endorsing. What I'm saying is the initial impulse, that moment something in you said, wait, is this actually true? That impulse is not the problem. That impulse might be your spirit doing what it was actually designed to do. Your heart is noticing something. There's a difference between the match and the fire. Deconstruction is the match, and what you do with it determines everything else. Here's the reframe I want to leave you with. Most people, when their beliefs start to crack, when what they've been taught stops holding weight, they assume their faith is falling apart, that the whole thing is collapsing. They panic. They start to freak out a little, and the community around them feels uneasy. The cracking gets labeled as crisis, as backsliding, as faith gone wrong. But what if the cracking isn't collapse? What if it's capacity expanding? What if the reason your old framework doesn't fit anymore isn't because you've lost faith, but because your faith has actually grown beyond the container it was given? There's a different word for that. It's not deconstruction, it's deepening. And I think for a lot of people watching this, that's what's actually happening, even if nobody around you has given it that name yet. On Sunday, I did a full video on the difference between deconstruction and deepening and what it feels like to move between the two. If this landed for you, that's the place to go next. The link is in the description. And on Thursday, I'm going to give you 2 simple questions to help you figure out which one you're in. That's a short one. It's worth the 5 minutes. I'll see you then.